So this is a Compass Casito 840, going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got your jockey wheel, handbrake and hitch. This is all stuff we'll go through in person here on site. Front of the van, you've got your storage locker with your gas bottle tie downs where you can hold two 6kg propane gas bottles and your gas pipe work that goes to the top of the bottle itself. On the side of the van, you've got your wind down legs on either side at the front. To level the caravan with. You'd never lift the caravan with these wind down legs, they are just there for stabilising the van while it is on site. You've got your water pump connection that comes in the side of the van and drops down inside the ack roll. And essentially the pump is pushed into place in the side of the van, and then you can push down the cap here to lock it into place. In the side of the van also, you've got your battery, your battery with your connections on top, and your mains power lead coming into the side of the van. Down the side of there, you've also got a 12-volt power switch for the motor movers itself. The motor movers again will be demonstrated while you're here on site, and the wheel nuts will also be torqued to the correct torque setting before you leave site with the van. The back of the van, you've got your toilet flush tank. So the top tank here takes 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid. And then in the bottom, you've got your toilet waste cassette, which essentially you can pull out with the orange handle at the bottom. You have a neck that turns out on top of it to tip the waste away, and on the back of that cassette there's also a pressure relief button, which is orange, that you can press in while you're tipping the waste away so it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. The cassette would need 1 litre of water in it and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. On the side of the van, you've also got your grey waste pipes, where your grey waste will come out the side of the van, which is essentially the fresh water that goes in the front will come out the side down here. On the back of the van, on either side, again, you've got your legs, the stabilising legs on both sides of the van, and they are just there to stabilise the van, like I said, and not lift the caravan. You've got storage on the door side of the van at the rear to access a storage locker, that we can access underneath the French bed at the rear. You've then got your 2 fridge vents on the side of the caravan, and these are simply there to allow the hot air out the back of the fridge unit, and behind one of those there is also a gas flue for the gas system for the fridge. On the front of the van, you also then got your storage locker for wet storage locker, so you can put bits and pieces in there if you need to that are damp, and there should also be a 3-pin socket in there to allow you to plug in power to the side of the van. I'm just going to show you where that is so you know where it is. As you can see, sorry, it's not a wet locker, this one actually, it's access to underneath the bed, but you've got a 3-pin socket in there to access the power point underneath the bed. Like I said, that can be used for running power out to your awning, for instance. As you come in the van, you'll notice there's a control panel on the left-hand side. You've got your main power for the caravan here, your internal lighting, and then your switch on the end here for the exterior lights above the door. You've got a pump run at the bottom here, so that's your water pump system, and then you've got your heating control panel in here as well. So all these main switches at the top you need to have on, unless you want the lighting off, and you turn these 2 off here, and your main power switch on the left-hand side. The heating and hot water systems I'll take you through in a moment as we get further around the van, and I'll demonstrate them to you as we go through. To fill the water system, the first thing you're going to do on the caravan, with the ack roll connector on the outside, is come underneath the seat on the far side of the van, and in the back of this cupboard you'll see a yellow valve. Now that yellow valve, you can't see it quite in the video, but it's behind that bit of blue pipe work. That yellow valve needs to be pointing towards us as we're looking at the system to be able to fill it. If you have that in the 90-degree position from where it is, it'll actually drain all the water out the system on the caravan. So you'd make sure that valve, like I said, is pointing towards the table here in the centre of the van. You come to every tap on the caravan and then open them all up on the hot side of the water heating. So that would be the tap in the kitchen, the tap in the bathroom, and also the tap on the sink. The tap on the shower, sorry, and the tap on the sink. You open all those up on the hot side, and then at that point the water would start coming through the system, and when the water system is full and you've got water running continuously as you have now, you can come to the control panel by the door, and you can go onto your water heating option just here, press the button, and you've got the option to run eco hot water, but you need to turn on the power supply just here. So you've got eco, 3.3 amps of power coming to the caravan, which most caravan sites will allow you to use. You've got your eco option and your 3.3 at the same time, so essentially the water system will start warming up to a decent temperature. It won't be as hot as what it would be on the boost, but it'll be enough temperature to wash up, etc. You have got a frost protection mode, so you can press the button here when it's turned off, and that'll actually act as a frost protection. We never advise that you use this as a fail. We never advise that you use this all the time, because it can potentially fail, and we do advise you just drain down the water system after each use of the caravan. If you want to boost the water system, you can press the button here, and as you can see, it's set to a 15-minute boost for showering on board the van, and essentially that will allow the water to warm up quicker on board. You can also operate the water heating on gas by pressing the gas option just here, and that will allow the water system to warm up with the gas operation. You need the gas bottle turned on in the front locker to be able to operate this. I'm just going to turn that off. To go back to your home screen, you press the bottom button, and then on this side you have your heating for the caravan. So you've got 3 different options down here depending on the site you're on. So you'd select, for instance, 2.9 amps. Again, most sites will be able to run this. Some of the higher amperages you may need to check whether you can run them. But so you'd select the power source that you want to use, whether it be the 3 options down the side here of the different levels of ampage, the gas option, or the max, which is the gas and the 5.7 amps of power at the same time. So you'd select the relevant power source, and then you control the temperature of the van by simply going up or down on the control panel here. You can also turn on the blown air heating by pressing the fan symbol here at the bottom. It'll actually allow the blown air to kick in and start warming the van with the heating coming around the van through the vents that you see around it. Again, you've got a frost protection mode here, but as I said previously, we don't recommend you use this as a fail-safe. Essentially, we do recommend you drain the system down after every use. In the control panel here, you've got your water pump run, which you'd need to turn that water pump run on to be able to get the water system to fill. I jumped a bit there, so I do apologise, but you'd need to turn the water pump on to get the water system full. Down in the bottom right hand corner, you've got your battery voltage that is coming into the car, or that is coming from the onboard battery on the van. So that is essentially your heating and hot water control panel. The next thing we're going to go to is the fridge system, which is very simple to use. You've got power on and power off on the button here on the left hand side. You've got your option to run mains power, which you'd select the button here and then control the temperature of the fridge on the button on the right hand side. You've then got your option to run gas as a power source, so you can select the gas option here, and the fridge will self-ignite on gas as long as it is turned on. We've got 12 volt mode here also, so that when you're towing down the road and you're connected to a car at the front of the van, you'll be able to use the fridge as a cool box, which will essentially mean when you get on site, the beers and the wine will be nice and cold. 240 volt mode when you're on site is the most preferred option of using. Like I said, you can use the gas, but do check you've got enough gas available to do that. And then you've got your 12 volt mode on the end. And on gas and 240 volts, you operate the fridge with the temperature control on the right hand side. When you are on 12 volts, it is a preset temperature, and it is a cool box, not a fridge mode. Turn the fridge off by pressing the power button on the front. The hob, grill and oven all work like your standard household devices. No difference at all there, your igniter on the front. However, we do recommend when you have used the hob to make sure the hob is completely cold before you put the glass lid back down. In the bathroom, you've got the toilet system with an electric flush on top. So you can press the electric flush on top to flush the toilet system. Then at the bottom of the toilet, you've got the grey waste handle, which you'd push across to allow the toilet waste to go into the cassette. The toilet does turn for your convenience, so you can turn the toilet sideways if you wish to, as in the actual seat area. However, when you are trying to remove the toilet cassette from underneath the van, you do need to make sure that the toilet seat is pointing across to the wall opposite it, due to the fact it has 2 lockout tabs on the bottom. So if you tried to remove the toilet cassette while that seat was turned, it would actually break them tabs off and potentially damage the toilet waste cassette itself. So essentially, toilet pointing across the wall on the opposite side to allow you to remove it from underneath the van. On top of the toilet flush system here, you have a red indicator light. Now that red indicator light will come on when the toilet waste cassette is full. At that point, you'd need to empty the cassette, put in another litre of water, and also another capful of the blue fluid. It's essentially there to break down the waste while the toilet system is being used. It has got a microwave in this caravan also. It's very simple to use. You've got the eco button on the front, which you press here, and it allows the microwave to wake up, as you'll see, or as you'll notice, auto power off. So essentially after a short while the microwave will turn off and you wake it up by pressing the eco button on the front of the unit, on the microwave unit itself. So that is the Compass Casito 840. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate. Sorry, I've already said that. I do apologise. We hope you enjoyed the caravan, and if you have any problems, just give us a call. Thank you very much for watching, and we hope you enjoyed the caravan. Thank you. Bye-bye.